Welcome, everyone. This event tonight is part of our Much to Discuss program, where we host fun virtual game nights and you learn about an important issue at the same time. Tonight, we're going to be learning about remote working and remote learning. And we're going to have two games tonight. We're going to have a scavenger hunt and a trivia game. The winner of these games get bragging rights. That matters a lot. And I know each one of you is going to compete for that. During these games, you're going to have a chance also to network some of the others who are interested in a shared topic. Clearly, it's important to educate people on this topic, especially in a world that has changed so much during COVID. As we realize, increasingly, the intersection between remote learning and remote work has been blurred. And the majority of employees right now prefer to work remote. But the majority of caregivers and teachers prefer in-person learning. And companies, they seem to be landing all over the place right now. So there's a great divide. How do students who are in person navigate a professional world later that's remote? How is that going to change what they've come to expect about how they work and learn? And what equity issues might exist in making sure these kids can get to where they need to learn right now, and how do they get into the workplace later? That's really a rhetorical question, but hopefully it gets you thinking about the issues that we're trying to talk about tonight and how those affect your own community. Throughout the games and the events in general, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to unmute yourself or send a message through chat and we'll read your question out to the group. For the scavenger hunt, we will require your camera to be on. Of course, we're going to be asking you to display the items that you find, and that's the way we validate it. All right, well, thank you all, and let's get started. Stacy, take it away.
Wonderful. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Glad to see you folks here. Really appreciate your joining us. And so let's get us started. So, it's all about remote learning, remote working. First, why don't we, practice with some of the tools we're going to be using? Why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself in the chat? Let's make sure we all know how to use that chat, and good to get to know each other too. So if you can, just write your name, and why don't you tell us something about yourself? I will start us off. So we have Andrew, and he's from New York City. Welcome, Andrew. Thank you for coming. And I said Stacy, and I love the color orange, although I'm not really wearing orange today. John said, hi, everyone. John returning here. I have two daughters. Tyler said, hello, I'm Tyler, and my pronouns are they and them, and I write poetry. And then Daniel said, I'm from West Virginia. So it's great to have folks from lots of different places here as well. Anybody else who wants to, feel free to write something in the chat. Please go ahead and do so. Look, there's one more. Jasmine is an graphic designer and mom of two. Now I've heard of graphic designer, so now I'm wondering if graphic designer was a typo, or if that's a thing that I don't know exists in the world. So if you want us to, perfect. Okay, just checking. I thought, I have no idea what an graphic designer is. I am really out of touch. So I am so glad that was a typo. Okay, wonderful. So welcome, everybody. And also, why don't we go ahead and I see some of you have your camera on. If you don't mind, like we said, cameras will help with the games, especially for the scavenger hunt. We need to have the cameras on. So why don't, if you don't mind, if you can go ahead and put the camera on, and then we'll just make sure everybody can do something with their cameras. So if you folks are okay with putting your cameras on, if you don't, it's fine. It's a little more fun if you can put your cameras on. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Sometimes when I have my camera on, my cat might come by, so you can say hi to my cat if my cat comes by. There you go. There's a cat, actually. There you go. So, okay, great. So we got a few cameras on there. Fantastic. Feel free to turn them off until we get to the scavenger hunt, and you can leave them on. I find that these kind of activities are so much more fun with the cameras on. And then the last thing I want you to do to kind of practice our, remote learning, remote working skills is, why don't you go ahead and show me some emoji? So you might have them on the bottom of your screen. You might able to, oh, there we go. Hello, Andy. We might be able to, there's a smiley face, there's a hand. Fantastic. And we got some clapping hands. Excellent. So I am grateful for that. So we've got some emojis there. Great. So without further ado, I want to get us started then on our scavenger hunt. So this is going to be the first thing. So I hope you folks feel like running around. This is a participatory activity as we learn about remote learning and remote working. So we're going to put on our slides for our scavenger hunt. And I'll walk you through how that scavenger hunt is going to work. If we go to the second slide, the way the scavenger hunt is going to work is all players need, and by the way, I'm just going to preface this by saying, if you've never done a Zoom scavenger hunt, they're kind of fun. I really love a good Zoom scavenger hunt. So I hope you enjoy this. So to participate in the scavenger hunt, all participants need to turn on their webcams for the host to know which players arrive first. Okay, so that's how it works. You got to show me you're back first. You got to pick the items up that you're going to show me. And I kind of need to see it on the camera. I'm going to, on this slide, you're going to see a letter and then 3 items that start with that letter. So your job is going to be to go find these 3 items. You only have 1 minute to do it. So you're going to see the slide. Okay. You're going to look at the items that you need, try to remember them, and then go run around your house and try to find them. Okay. And then you're going to bring them back. All players must come back and show me, and the first player who comes back is going to show me their items. If they've got all 3 items, great. If it's been longer than 1 minute, whoever gets the most items, they're the winner. But then after the first minute, then we go to the next one, another letter, another 3 items. So let's see. And then you get a point for each each round you win, you get a point. Okay, and then we'll see who the overall winner is at the end of the scavenger hunt. So before we start, any questions on these games, and of course you can put them in the chat. You can just unmute yourself and say them however you want to let me know. Any questions about this scavenger hunt so far? Can we go to slide 2? That has the instructions. There's the instructions. Any questions on the scavenger hunt? Okay, so first slide starts with the letter R, and so we want any reading material about remote work in hard copy. You remember those things that were hard copy? Okay, so anything that talks about remote work or even remote learning, maybe you have your assignment from work that you've printed out, but you work remotely. Anything related to talking about remote work or remote, even tools. A second item is your remote wardrobe. So something you've worn recently for a Zoom call, but the bottom portion. So a bottom that you've worn for an event, a Zoom event or a video event recently, because we only usually see your top half. So a bottom half. And then the third thing is a raised hand emoji, which you folks already know how to do, as we can see. So go ahead. You've got a minute. We're starting now, and go get your items to come show me. So that's 1 minute. Do your best to get what you can. And while folks are doing that, we can talk amongst ourselves. Hopefully we'll find the hardest one by far is the reading material about remote work. Don't you think, John? Oh, you already have it. Oh, well, you have it. I know what you have.
I do too.
You have it too. Oh, maybe it's not as hard as I thought it was.
It's kind of cheating because it's the curriculum for today's event.
That's a little bit cheating. Yes.
Stack the deck in my favor there.
And actually, some people don't even have printers anymore. So having a hard copy document and you read news online right now that remote work and remote learning is so common, we don't even do it, to have hard copies of anything. Well, yeah, hard copies of items. So it's actually kind of hard. Some people haven't read a hard copy magazine or a newspaper in a long time. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we have about 15 seconds left for those of you who can hear me. Let's see. Come on back. Oh, do we have Daniel? Do you have all 3 things, do you think?
I have a problem with the third thing because I'm sharing my screen. It won't let me emoji.
Well, let's see what, I think Daniel might have been the first one to come back. Do you want to show us what you have?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see you. Hold on. All right, go ahead. Oh, there's the raised hand.
This is it's kind of like this is what I got in like a financial planning academy. A lot of it was online material. Pretty extensive.
That's impressive, actually. Yeah. Okay, great. Two out of three. And what did
And
you get?
these are just my pants.
There you go. There you go. Your pants. Excellent.
I would say I didn't have to get up. I don't know if I had to leave to come back.
So Daniel, you are the winner of this round. Sorry, Tyler.
It's okay. Here's my folder though.
There you go. There's your folder.
pants.
Okay. All right. And Andy didn't come back, so we'll have to see if Andy's in on the next round. Okay. So next letter is an E. It starts with an E. Let's see what we have to get for the next round. Okay. We need earbud or headphones. Okay. We need an email, and you can do it either print it out or show us the email on another device. I promise we won't read it. And then an example of etiquette, even from this meeting, and you can throw that right in the chat, or you can just tell us. So those are your three things, and you can go ahead and start now.
I'm gonna just count myself out because I don't have to get up again.
Because you don't have what?
I don't have to get up again.
Oh, well, John wants to do it. John's got the earbuds. Okay, Tyler's got earbuds. Okay. What else you got, folks? Oh, email. Okay.
Mine's all blurred, so it really
John-
is an email, though.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you. And an example of etiquette from this meeting. Let's see. And Daniel, did you have any for these? Still working on it. It's okay. You don't have to. Well, there's other rounds. Okay.
Bragging
and-
rights is on the line.
Bragging rights is on the line, though. So, John, you wrote something in the chat. Is that your example of an etiquette?
It was, yes.
Can you explain that to us?
Well, just participation, letting everyone know you're there, participating in the conversations and the chats. It's very easy to zone out when you're not in person.
Absolutely.
Demonstrating you're still there. I think that alone isn't enough.
That's an excellent, absolutely excellent point. Okay, our next letter. So John, did John win that round or Tyler? Maybe,
Tyler.
well, Tyler, you didn't put anything in the chat, so I think we have to leave it to John for that one.
I was gonna acquiesce
Oh.
it to like our attendees. So
Wait, what was that?
I was gonna acquiesce it to our attendees. I don't know if that counts as etiquette, but that's what I was trying to do.
We're gonna give that one to John in this case. Okay. Okay, next one is an M, and here we need a microphone. That's kind of a trick question. Microphone, a mask, and a mug or a cup, because now that we're we're doing so much remote work, a lot of us have, like, I've got my cup right here. We have our favorite cups handy. So go ahead, you've got a minute. Go ahead and get those. And I'll mention, that etiquette stuff, socialization is so important in remote, when you're doing things remotely for work or for learning, you kind of forget that there's rules, right? In person, we know, oh, okay, new organization, a new way of communicating. But in online communication, we often forget that there's rules associated with it. So John's point about that chat is really valid. Hey, there we go. I like that. We've got the hand clapping. I love that. So microphone, mask, mug, or a cup. Who's back with their first? Oh, we have somebody. Okay, Andy. We've got a mask. We've got a favorite mug. That looks like a cute mug. And a microphone. Because a microphone.
Wow, that was
those
fast.
earbuds. There we go. Okay. We've got a three-way tie now. So we've got a few more letters. We'll see who's got the bragging rights at the end of this. And, for remote learning, there's so many new tools. Who would have thought that just that mug is like a new tool of remote learning, right? But
Coffee has been the staple of any workplace productivity for a long time.
it's true, it's true. Masks during the pandemic certainly were. 98% of colleges went online during COVID. 98%. And it's like these things were kind of standard then, right? So, okay, are we ready for the next one? Let's go. So we have O. I don't know if you can figure out what we're trying to spell yet. REMO. So an open piece of traditional mail, an online event registration. You can show us on a device or you can have a printout, and an ornamental or decorative item in your workplace, in your workspace.
All right,
And
I'm gonna claim a point now.
what'd you say?
I said I want to claim a point now.
Wait, actually, I'm going to give you the full minute. Let's be fair. Let's be
Okay.
fair. Let's give you the full minute. So go ahead, grab some of those things. Okay. Ornamental or decorative item in your workspace, open piece of traditional mail, or an online event registration. And workspace is so important for remote learning and remote working. Oftentimes we think, oh yeah, work is at work, but when you're having your work is your home, it was really difficult for a lot of people to maintain work-life balance because people and students, adults and kids didn't have that dedicated space for their workspace at home. And so having that dedicated workspace is really important, whether it's your cup that's ornamental or otherwise. So who's back? Who has these items? Tyler's in the race now. Gosh, we've got one. Everybody's got one. Okay,
Four-way tie.
I guess nobody had to leave their desk because you've got everything by your desk. I guess that's why we didn't see people run. There's an event registration. Okay. There is a piece of mail. And what was the other one? Oh, oh, that's awfully pretty. Is that a Lego set?
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so now we actually have,
Flowers we can actually
The
keep
one I have
alive.
at home is a little sign that says, "I'm not procrastinating. I'm just on energy save mode."
that's there you go. That's also good. People always had those signs in their offices, like the cat, hanging from a tree, like hang in there, and those kinds of signs. For students have those too. Very important. Okay, excellent. Are we ready for our next letter? We only have 2 left. So it's on now. We've got a 4-way tie. So it's on. Okay, so tool for work-life balance. Tell your pronouns in your screen name. So figure out how to change them in your screen name and add your pronouns. Mine are already there. And a t-shirt, hat, bag, or other clothing that references technology or remote work in some way. Anyway, that last one might be hard. But if it was easy, it wouldn't be fun. T-shirt, hat, bag. Maybe Daniel, when you were taking that class, you got some promotional T-shirts or something. So tool for,
I'd argue maybe even the binder counts.
I think we can stretch it. Although Daniel looks like he's on the run there. So probably got about 45 seconds left.
I'm big on getting multiple uses out of the same thing. I mean, I might have used that binder as a decorative item even. It covers all categories.
I kind
Don't tell me it's not decorative enough. It's my office. I can decorate it my
It's-
way.
It's a valid point. I'm kind of going with that. Okay, we have about 20 seconds left. I'm hoping Daniel is going to come back with something.
Does a child count as a tool for a work-life balance? Because she kind of forces it to happen.
100%.
I agree 100%. It's so important. Any family member you have counts. But okay, so Daniel's the first one technically back. So
All right, I haven't been leaving.
so Daniel, what do you have for us?
Well, I have a hat.
Fantastic. What does it say? I'm just curious. Can you tell us?
It was from a marathon I did.
That's fantastic. I will take it. That combined with your other while you were gone, John was saying that your binder should have counted. So
Multi-use, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
all right. So what else you got?
Well, I would just have my phone for like work-life balance. Because you can have like a social life.
That is very true. That is very true. I think for a lot of people, the phone is kind of that double-edged sword, right? Because
Yeah.
you use it for business purposes, but then you're also using it, or you're using it as a student, but you're also using it for personal. But yeah, absolutely. Excellent example. And then there's your pronouns. Excellent. So we have Daniel as our winner, and one last one. So it could tie up with this one. Okay. So Daniel, you gotta run to keep your lead here. Okay,
Andy, I'm betting on you though. I'm counting on a tie.
let's see if Andy can come in with this last one. Okay, so last letter, here we go. An ebook reader. Now we will accept a cell phone like Kindle app or something like that. We will accept that as well. Equipment for remote learning or work. So a piece of tangible equipment. Again, John's point about double dipping on some of those is valid. An example of a data storage device. So we'll give you a minute for this
If I
one.
go down and come back up, does that count as leaving and coming back? 'Cause-
Yes, it counts as leaving and
Okay.
coming back.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Wait, so I'm gonna give Daniel a chance. Daniel, do you have something for us? Oh, Daniel's gonna run. Okay, let's have the minute officially start now.
Okay. So I had to dip down again. Okay.
And I mentioned one of these was a trick question. It was that microphone or trick answer, because that microphone, a lot of times we think it's got to be a standalone
Oh,
microphone.
see, I bet on Andy, and there's Andy coming through.
There you go. But a microphone could also be on your phone. That counts as a microphone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like all three of mine are ultimately my phone because I have the cloud on my phone. I use my phone to check work email, and I have the Kindle app on my phone.
There you go. You got to show me the Kindle app. Daniel, what do you have?
This is
Oh.
a 2 terabyte storage. Well, I guess my phone again, for that ebook reader. And I just have a pencil for like taking notes.
That is equipment for remote learning work. I
Okay,
accept
good.
that. Absolutely. So all three there. I seem to think Andy had one too. The cat doesn't count, although very cute. What do we got for this? We have an ebook reader. We have a USB. Good. And we have the earbuds again, or the headphones again that count. And then Tyler gave 3. John, you're the only one who didn't.
I
do
would
it.
like to show off some cool work equipment.
Yes, let's see.
A pen,
That's a pen.
but it's like a fidget pen.
Oh, that is a cool work. Right, that is pretty cool. I have to admit that's pretty cool. And I love the fact that you said the cloud storage for a storage device, because that is absolutely true. We often underestimate, like it used to be these USB sticks and these other kind of devices, but now the cloud is our, storage device, especially for remote learning, remote working. That last one was tough. It was, yeah, I'm a little torn to say it's a 3-way tie, but I'm going to give it to Daniel because he was the first one to say it of the 3 of you. So, and host,
Wait.
and the host gets to make the decide. So that was in the rules. So we're going to give it to Daniel. Thank you so much, Daniel. Bragging rights to you. And I'm going to tell you one other reason Daniel gets it is because he's the only one who got out of his chair almost every time to do this. So I give him credit for putting in the work to win this thing. So Daniel, yay! Bragging rights to Daniel. Well, you folks are awesome. We can put on the last slide, just says thank you and congratulations. We can learn a little bit through that scavenger hunt, and another thing we can say is how doing that helps us with exercise, which is something else we don't do as much when we're doing our remote work. So it's nice to get a little bit of exercise, at least for Daniel, who's the one who got up. And Andy, I don't know what that symbol means. It means I think that means what she said, but I'm not sure. You might have to type that out for me. I might not know the emojis as well as I think I do. So Andy's going to type that out for me. But if we can have the next game, are you folks ready for the next game? What do you think? Let's say yes. Let's say y'all are ready. Okay. Although
I
I don't
say yes.
I say, there you go. John says yes, we're ready. Hopefully Andrew will be back, but that cat looks really, really ready to go. So Andy's cat will hopefully participate with us. So if we can get, there you go. So our next game is our trivia. I just have to make sure we're keeping track of time here. So, and by the way, if you didn't notice, in our scavenger hunt, it spelled out the word remote. We like to keep it cute at Inform Your Community. So our trivia is our next game. I hope you had fun on that scavenger hunt. I hope I didn't disappoint. I do love a good online scavenger hunt. So our next one is going to be trivia. And this one, there is a catch to this as well, which is every time we have a different question, you have to answer it differently in a different medium. So sometimes we'll say you have to write it in the chat. Sometimes we'll say you have to say it out loud. Sometimes we'll say whoever raises their hand first. So that is our dance. We haven't done interpretive dance, but I am definitely adding that the next time we do this. So, okay, so are you ready for the scavenger hunt? Let's go. First question. Let's see. Oh no, first the rules. Not first question, first the rules. Each round has a different way to respond, which I mentioned. Don't show the answers. Okay, thank you. Different way to respond. You must respond in that format for the correct answer to be able to win that round. The host, once again, has final decision making for points. The host will write down the points won by each player for each, by the player who wins that round. And then we will get the overall winner. So we'll see once again who comes out on top with this trivia. So ready? Let's go. Question one. To answer this question, you have to be the first to type the correct answer in the chat box. Okay? First to type the correct answer in the chat box. So let's see. Which one of the following is not a tool for distance learning? Coursera, Linda, Great Courses, Udemy, or all of them are? Give you a few seconds. I know some of you are probably Googling, but what's your quick response? And Daniel says E. Who else wants to participate? Okay, Marky says C. Okay, glad to have you join us, Marky. Okay, good. Tyler says E. Okay, John, did you want to throw your hat in? John says C. Fantastic. Okay, the correct answer is E. All of these are online learning tools for different courses. Some of them are free, some of them cost money. We could have put Khan Academy on there. We thought that would be too obvious, but it's amazing how many of these tools there are. Great Courses started out as more of you order a DVD, if you can believe it, or a CD, and they would send it to you in the mail. So wonderful. So Daniel was the first to get it in there. So Daniel wins the first one. Congratulations, Daniel. Daniel, had you heard of all of those before, or were you guessing?
I was guessing mostly, but I've heard of Udemy.
There you go. Great. Excellent. You can check those out. So although it sounds like you do some online classes occasionally, so here's some more resources for you. Okay, next question. And for question number 2, it's the first to shout out the correct answer wins. When were the first remote learning courses? In the early 1500s, early 1600s, early 1700s, early 1800s, or early 1900s? What do you think? Shout it out if you think you know.
1900s.
Early 1900s. Okay, that is incorrect. That is not true. This is a little bit of a trick question. Okay, anybody else want to guess? Or do you want to take a second guess? Who wants to guess? Marky, your mic is off if you want to tell us. Or not? Oh, Marky, no. See? There you go, 1700s, but you have to shout it out. You have to shout it out. Maybe we'll cut him some slack. All right, we'll cut him some slack.
Stacy likes the power to
Yeah, I was gonna say it's entirely
be the
possible that
final
his mic-
decider.
He said his mic is not working.
See, part of remote learning and part of being inclusive with remote learning and remote working is that you have to be accommodating, right? So that's fair. That's fair. Not everybody has the same technology. So I am going to make that executive decision, and I'm going to say Marky gets it on that one. So early 1700s is actually true. And it sounds so shocking, like really way back then. but actually correspondence schools were essentially remote learning. And that's what they had back in the day. Oh, that was a guess, Marky says. Yeah, so back in the day, that's what they did. And I can remember that my grandfather-in-law, so my husband's father, obviously he wasn't around in the 1700s, but he was an architect or an engineer. He got his degree entirely through correspondence schools. And there were like old versions of that back in the day. And so he even had his graduation ring. He was so proud of doing correspondence school. He had his graduation ring from his correspondence program. So that's how he got his degree. So very exciting. So they've been around a lot longer than we thought they've been around, really. So, okay, let's see. Are we ready for our next question? Okay, this one, you're going to be the first to name one of these and explain why in the chat, okay? So the question is, how does one of the following relate to equity issues in remote learning and remote work? So is it pronouns? Is it alt text? Is it cameras? I mean, a small talk or internet speed? You can talk about any of them, but you're going to want to tell us in the chat why it relates to kind of equity and inclusivity. So just pick one and let us know. And everybody feel free to pick one and write it down because we want to explore all of these. So go ahead when you get the chance. Give you a minute to do that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we've got two people who wrote some things. Both are about cameras. Okay. Anybody want to try anything else? Although it looks like John won that one because he wrote it first, but it's great to have all of them. Pronouns we got in here. Okay, I'll read out all these. Maybe we can get any more of these. Okay, so cameras, we've got some income levels may not have access to good quality cameras, right? So you can see, right, if it's blurry, if it goes on and off sometimes, things like that, absolutely. If your camera or microphone doesn't work, so this Marky said if your camera or microphone doesn't work, people can exclude you. Oh, thankfully you didn't. Oh, big heart to you, Marky, out there. That is great. Yeah, very true. And then Tyler wrote in there pronouns, because we can't assume everybody's pronouns, even more so online, perhaps. So we should, although we should never assume pronouns. So we shouldn't assume anyone's pronouns. If we all use them, then it becomes more normal and no one feels singled out, right? You don't have to be like, wait, which pronoun do I use for you? Like if we just all forthrightly say our pronouns, then that becomes easier for everybody to be comfortable with that. That's great. Excellent point, Tyler. Daniel said E, which is internet speed, and excellent point there about not everyone has the fastest connection. This is a really big deal. At least I can speak to New York in that internet speed was a real big issue for remote learning, right? When, the pandemic hit its peak and schools went remote in New York. It was like public schools went remote late March. And the equity issue about internet connection was really apparent, and equipment. And so making sure students had laptops, making sure that there were internet connections in poorer neighborhoods may be more likely to have worse internet connections. So you may drop out of calls and things like that. So it becomes an equity issue, just that internet speed. Mark, you also said maybe you can't afford internet. Maybe you can't even afford the internet, or your internet is spotty and you can't hold a good connection. Exactly. I'm glad we keep having more of these going. Small talk, for those where English is a second language, small talk is hard. Excellent point. Absolutely excellent point there. And also how quickly when you do small talk, oftentimes, like I'm talking right now, we're very quick, right? We talk very quickly and we go one person to the next person, next person. For somebody for whom English is their second language, it may be more difficult for them to follow the conversation. And then small talk, Marky wrote, some people are on the spectrum and don't like making small talk. That's true. They may not be equipped for it, and they may just not like it, or etc. That's an excellent point. I'll add one more thing about small talk is that with small talk, I remember when my kids were in remote learning, the teachers would start off to kind of be more social. They would start off and say like, oh, so it's Monday. Like, what did you do over the weekend? And they quickly realized that that's a loaded question that has a lot of equity issues in it, because some of the kids would say, oh, well, we went to the Hamptons this weekend, right? Or we went away to this other state this weekend. We went traveling this weekend. And then the other kids are like, I stayed home and did nothing, right? Or I had to help my parents work, right? And so even just asking like an innocent question of like, well, what did you do this weekend? They stopped asking that question and ended up trying to ask other questions that were not as loaded, okay? To avoid some of those equity issues. And Tyler's reminding us we have 15 minutes, but that's okay. I think we'll get through this just fine. But I will say, we had another thing in here I wanted to just mention. Nobody mentioned alt text. Tyler's mentioning it. So I'm going to give it a go. Helps people who have vision impairments understand and interact with what's on screen, because it's basically describing what the images is of, even if you can't see that image yourself. So very helpful, certainly at our events. Usually, though, we forgot to do it this time. Shame on us. Usually we like to describe ourselves at our events. So normally I would say, I'm a white woman. In my case, I have blue hair with a black background wearing a blue shirt. And we also make sure to have, usually make sure to have closed captioning available for people to be able to use that as well. So excellent. All fantastic answers. And I think we got to every one of those. Let's go to question 4. Oh, wait, who won that? Uh-oh, in the chat. Somebody's going to tell
I think Marky won.
Marky won that one. Okay, so Marky, I've got to keep track here. Okay, so great. Which company? Oh, so this one we have to on number 4. Okay, first, to raise your hand emoji, use a raised hand emoji, and then provide the correct answer when called upon is the winner. So which company below does not have 100% remote workforce? Grubhub, Buffer, Shopify, GitLab, or all of them are remote. So let's see who's going to make a good guess here, or Google quickly. Which one of these does not have 100% remote workforce? And which one, or is it all of the above? Sorry, I accidentally clicked the screen. We got it. We got it. Okay, what do you folks think? Anybody want to take a guess? What is our score here? We've got Daniel's got 1. Who did Marky win 1700? Yeah, Marky won 1700s. And then Marky won the next one. Uh-oh, Marky's the winner. And nobody's raising their hands. Nobody wants to take a guess? I mean, you have to do your hands up. You can just use your hand. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, I think I saw Daniel first, so I'm going to give him the shout out there. Go ahead. What is it? What's the answer?
I'm gonna say E again.
E again. All of the
them are remote.
all of the above. And were you familiar with these, or guess?
I've never heard of Buffer or
Awesome.
GitLab.
GitLab. I forgot what GitLab is, actually, come to think of it. Somebody can put it in the chat. But Buffer is a tool for social media, so you can direct your social media messages to multiple social media at the same time. So if you're a business, you would use that. Yes, all of these are 100% remote, which is amazing. Those are out there, and probably more of them. Mark, you also had his answer. He put it in the chat, which was E. Thank you, but sorry, Daniel won that one. Is it supposed to be GitHub? Is that a typo on our part? I thought it was GitLab, though.
I know GitHub. I don't know if the
They are
parent
separate
company
things. I
has a
thought they were
different
separate
name, but
things. There you go. Okay. We'll have to Google later what GitLab is offhand. I'm so sorry. I don't remember. Okay. Next question. For sake of time, I'm not going to look it up right now. But good. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, Marky, thank you. Okay. This one, first to show the correct answer on paper, on camera, will win this one. So you actually have to have a piece of paper and a writing implement, but I know Daniel's got a pencil, so that helps. Okay, of workers whose work allowed them to work from home, this many workers actually did work from home in 2020. That 93, 87, 71, 54, or 32. And this one, you just have to put it on a piece of paper and show it to me. Which one of these answers is correct? Oh, A. So Marky says number A. So 93%. That is not correct. There's actually a lot of students who are online, but in the workforce, it took a little while for the workforce to decide to let people. It's not number A, not number A. No, it's not number A. No, it's not. In 2020. What? Oh, it's a joke. Sorry. Letter A. Thanks, Marky. Yes, I got you. Okay. Letter A. Okay. See, there's a little humor etiquette online. And smiley face to finish that off with. Okay, does anybody want to take a second guess? We know it's not A, letter A. No guesses. No, other than that, or you just don't have paper. Should I just give an answer? Yeah. Oh, you're saying, John's saying C. He doesn't have paper though. Okay, B. Mark is going to try again since he has the paper. I'm going to, no, it's not B. Sorry. It is not letter B. C. He's going to keep trying. I see. Yes. Yeah, I believe in all of you. Tyler's rooting for us. Yes, it is C, 71%. And of those who were in that 71% who are working from home, 54% wanted to continue working from home the following year. So, so I shouldn't say the following year, even after COVID died down, 54% of those folks wanted to continue working from home. So it is definitely something that people want and enjoy doing. Okay, thank you so much.
I hate working from home, by the way. I'm one of those people that went into the office even when I was allowed to work from home. The interaction is a big part for me.
It's true. And especially for that work-life balance as well. If you don't have a good ability to kind of juggle that, it's really hard. But also it's kind of lonely working from home, right? And a lot of webinars, we like to make our stuff fun, but a lot of webinars don't give you that interaction. Maybe when Dan and you were doing that training, maybe it wasn't very interactive. Hopefully it was. And then Tyler wrote, I like working in person better, but with health issues and a toddler, it's a lot more convenient. That's true. Being remote helps with equity issues, especially if somebody's got health issues. Absolutely. And GitLab, by the way, Tyler put in the chat, is an open source code repository and collaborative software development platform for large development ops and development security ops projects. So thank you for finding that out for us, Tyler. Okay, I think we just have one more question. So number 6, and in this case, first person to get my attention and tell me the correct answer wins. You can get my attention anywhere you want. It's, when did the first emoticons appear? A, in an 1881 issue of a humor magazine called Puck. B, in 1949 when Al Gross patented the phone pager. C, in 1997 by JPhone, now called SoftBank. D, in 1999 by Shigetaka Kurita. Or E, none of the above. So you can get my attention. Marky, I think your hand is still up from the last question, so I'm going to assume that doesn't count. But anybody wants to take a guess, get my attention anywhere you want, including that chicken dance that John was talking about. Oh, John, do you have an answer? Or you just want to do?
A little of both. Yeah, a little of both. But I think it's none of these. I think this goes all the way back to cave paintings.
Cave paintings.
They had the emoticons right there.
You know, I mean, that we didn't know that. Marky likes your answer. There you go, using the emoticons. We didn't think that correspondence school went back so far to exactly, Marky, to 1770. So you never know. In this case, I do know, and that is not the correct answer. So, but it was a good try, not cave paintings this time. So, when did the first emoticons appear? Somebody else want to take a guess and get my attention? Okay. I must admit, Marky, you got me on the little mouse emoticon, and you're saying D in 1999. That is the one you might find online if you Googled that answer quickly. I'm not saying that's what you did, Marky. I'm not saying you cheated, but I'm just saying that if you Googled it quickly, you'd probably find that as the first answer.
Cheating? You've been telling everybody, quick Google. I don't think you can call it cheating after you've encouraged it.
That's true. That's true. And it does seem that Marky works in IT, so fair enough. But and used to do ASCII art. Okay, fair enough. Tyler's very happy about that. That is pretty cool, I must say. You could have probably taught this, presented, been a co-facilitator for us. But actually, the answer is, does anybody else want to take a guess? Daniel, you got 3 choices. You want to try? You don't have to. Just want to keep you in the running.
Sure. I'll just say, was C chosen yet?
C was not chosen yet.
All right, I'll choose C.
Nope, C is not the correct one. And I got yelled at from Tyler because I didn't notice they were getting my attention. Your camera's off and I don't see emojis. So I'm not sure how you were trying, maybe in the chat. So, but you did fail to get my attention. So, okay, it was not C. So we're pretty much down to the correct answer, which is dun 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 A. So yes, these were actually like little images. Oh, these are little images, and that they had put in the magazine, basically a little bit like clip art that they had put in this magazine because they thought they would be cute. And this was the first time these kinds of figures appeared. So all the way back in 1881. So
Huck
sadly,
actually
no.
took those from cave paintings.
What'd you say?
Huck actually took those from cave paintings.
Yeah, and maybe Puck Magazine took those from cave paintings.
I don't give up easily on that.
I've got to go back in my research more. The drawing from the Lion King. Oh, I'm gonna have to go look that up now. Tyler says I keep thinking of the drawing from the Lion King. I'm gonna have to go look that back up. So I think Marky might be the winner for this. I got 3 for Marky, 2 for Daniel, and 1. Is that true? 1, 2. That's it. Yeah, 5. And sadly, no one got 6. So is your the winner is Marky on that one. Congratulations. So thank you, Marky. Yay! So we appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Daniel, for winning the last one. So we have 2 wonderful winners, Daniel and showing us our Celebrate emoticon. They're great. Yay, hooray! So Marky, fantastic. So we have bragging rights to the 2 of you both. So without further ado, I've left you, John, very little time to close us out. I'm so grateful to have everybody here, and we really do hope you've enjoyed these games. And that you kind of see these intersections. We think remote learning is one thing, remote working is something entirely different, but so many of the things we talked about today are the intersections between them. And it's really important to understand that these students who are doing remote work or not are going to be, remote learning, are going to be entering into this workforce that's going to be more than ever dependent on remote work, and what disparity issues might come into play with that if they don't have that experience in school. So John, take it away.
Well, thank you, Stacy, and thank you everybody for your participation today. This is really all made fun by everybody's participation and activity, and I thought this was great. So like we said, this was one of our much to discuss events on remote learning and remote work. We hope you enjoyed the event, and remember, it's just the beginning of learning about this topic. We hope that during the upcoming week, you'll commit to doing one thing to help raise awareness about remote learning and remote work. And this session really is just the one way to get started. You'll be getting in the mail a copy of this video and also an infographic with some additional information, including some pioneers that really helped make remote work happen. People like Jill Biden, Sal Khan, Steve Jobs, Mayet, and Alexander Graham Bell. You can also show appreciation for this opportunity to learn in remote workly by taking some mental health breaks throughout the day and encourage others in your team to do the same. And also by practicing web and video etiquette, checking your background, muting yourself, using emojis, using chat, and using the Q&A feature to help make sure meetings are run efficiently and effectively. Right now, we're going to launch a quick poll. We hope you'll take a moment to share with us some of your thoughts about the program we ran tonight. In the email that we send, we will also send another survey, which is separate and additional information. So we hope you'll respond to that as well. If you check out our website at www.informyourcommunity.org, that's 3 W's. I think I stuttered and added a fourth, 3 W's.informyourcommunity.org. You can learn about our other programs in addition to other topics we're going to be covering in this much to discuss program. The next event we're going to have is Popcorn and Chat. It's a movie night on July 27th at 6 p.m. And we're going to be live streaming a video called Invisible Disabilities. All of our events are free and they're only made possible by donations. So if you've enjoyed today's event, hopefully you'll consider donating to help us cover the costs of future events. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to share our video, subscribe to our channel, and share with family and friends. And one last time, I want to thank everybody for coming and helping inform your community, make a successful event. We hope you enjoyed and we hope you learned some valuable information today. Thank you so much.